The fast food industry has literally exploded in Bharat in recent years. It is growing at a rate of 40% every year. It shows how the big food industry or the factory food sector is increasingly taking control of what we eat every day. Secret behind the growth of the highly processed junk food industry is finally out. A report has exposed that they use addictive substances to turn hungry people into lucrative markets. If you crave for fizzy drinks with your everyday meal, it means you are addicted to it. You are trapped. Same goes with burgers and fries at popular fast food chains. If your child is crazy about chips, sugary drinks, and pizzas, it means you are giving them addictive substances every day. It's just like giving your children cigarettes and booze. What has this explosion of ultra processed food given Bharat? A massive and undeclared pandemic, a pandemic of diabetes, cholesterol, thyroid, high blood pressure, heart problems, and other lifelong diseases. And who gains from this ballooning health crisis caused by the big food industry? You guessed it right. It's a big pharma industry. This report is not about what you eat, it's about what is eating you. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries. Let me tell you why highly processed junk food is addictive as smoking and drinking. Junk food gives us lifelong diseases. It cuts short our longevity. But still, we never think about kicking it out. Why? Because we have an addiction to it. Believe it or not, that's precisely what a global study has found. A research was recently published in the British Medical Journal. It is titled Social, Clinical, and Policy Implications of Ultra Processed Food Addiction. It exposes that ultra processed food contains addictive substances. That's why we can't give it up. And that's why the growth of the ultra processed big food industry. You are helping them in two ways by eating their addictive stuff and falling sick, and by making the junk food chains richer and richer. Let's start by looking at some numbers. They are shocking and alarming. 14% of adults and 12% of children in the world have UPF addiction. These figures match the levels of two popular addiction habits, drinking and smoking. 14% of adults are addicted to alcohol and 18% are addicted to tobacco. Researchers compiled the report based on 281 studies done in 36 countries. It has disturbing news about our kids. 1 in 8 children are in the grip of UPF addiction. In a country like Bharat, where streets, shops, and bazaars are full of processed junk food, this is perhaps the biggest health crisis out there. It's a wake up call for all Indian parents, especially those in the cities. UPFs cover a large portion of our daily intake. Cold drinks, snacks in packets, ice creams, sweets, biscuits, deep fried stuff, cakes, pizzas, sausages, burgers, chicken nuggets, and many more. It is also important to know what kind of food is not considered as UPF. The answer is anything that is totally unprocessed or only slightly processed, and food that is largely fresh, like dry fruits, vegetables, fresh juice, unprocessed milk, homemade yogurt and butter, fresh meat, fish, eggs, grains, unprocessed flour, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices, and unprocessed pasta and noodles. So, what makes UPFs different from less processed food is the use of industrial substances and additives. This is what makes ultra processed food so highly addictive. The situation is critical for Indians, especially those living in urban Bharat. In the next 10 years, UPFs are likely to grow faster than the country's GDP growth. So it's not just a matter of personal health, it's a national concern. There is an organization called NAPI, or Nutrition Advocacy in Public Interest. It's working hard to raise awareness about excess UPF consumption. Firefighting is being done all over the world as well. Writer and campaigner Chris Van Tuleken's book, Ultra Processed People, has become a warning for the public. Now, let's dig deep into the scientific details of the BMJ report. The addictive power of UPF comes from a combination of two things: refined carbohydrates and fats. This deadly combination hits our brain's reward system with full force. It creates an addictive feeling that's hard to resist. It doesn't stop there. Additives too play a crucial role. Flavors, textures, and other modifications have an impact on the taste. The taste is designed to keep us wanting more and more. It turns into a harmful cycle from which the people can't escape. It's a food trap that is toxic. UPF addiction also disturbs the socio-economic fabric of a country. In wealthy countries, there is very uneven distribution of food options among the rich and poor. The same story has now started in Bharat. Excessively processed junk food is cheaper than healthy food. So cheap UPF is more popular among the people living in poor neighborhoods. That's a sad truth. The poorer you are, the more you are forced to rely on ultra processed food because it's cheaper than healthy food, and therefore poorer populations are eating more of the ultra processed junk food. It's an unhealthy dependence. So where do we go from here? What is the way out? Nutrition levels on UPFs are a starting point. It can have a limited impact in Bharat, where people don't look at food packets with critical eyes, but doing something is better than doing nothing. Countries like Chile and Mexico are good examples. They are part of about 20 countries that implemented nutrition levels for UPFs. More than 100 countries have various policies in place, such as high taxes on sugary drinks and marketing regulations on UPFs. Also, UPF addiction needs to be recognized as an official diagnosis. Junk food takes up more than 50% of total daily energy consumption in some wealthy countries like Canada, Australia, Britain, and the US. Big food and big pharma industries literally control Western populations. Bharat is likely to join them soon, given the rapid growth in packaged food demand and expanding fast food chains. Globally, between 1990 and 2010, the consumption of unhealthy food items has simply skyrocketed, and more have become captive customers of the big pharma industry. Isn't it obvious that the factory food sector and pharma industry are working together? So it's time to trash the junk and break free from the UPF trap. It's a trap designed to make you addicted and therefore race towards permanent health damage. At the end of the day, what we eat is at the root of all our diseases. Here's the deal. Let's chuck addictive snacks, embrace real food, and redefine what we eat. Treat addictive junk food as a food invasion on our bodies. More and more children are falling prey to ultra processed food. As adults, we need to realize that it's not just about what's on our plate, it's about the legacy we are leaving for our young people. If we don't break the cycle now, we will reward our children with lifestyle diseases. Do we really want a future where the country is full of obese, unwell, and unfit people? Let's build a nation where food plays a role of fueling us, not trapping us. Eat responsibly, live healthy, and let's return to natural food. Until next time, stay hungry for the right reasons.
Haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Subscribe now. Don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we publish a report. Follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. WhatsApp Get Updates to 98210 for news and analysis you are not told. Visit our website empirediaries.com for more in-depth articles, columns and reports. Stay informed, stay awake.